everybody, and welcome to Mayor Elizabeth Jones's Variety Hour.
Hello, and this is Kaye Lazar. Is this the first show we've done in 2020? No, we've done a few shows in 2022. It just seems like it's been a long time since we did a show.
Yeah, we've been extremely busy, so that's why we haven't seen y'all in ages. So
yeah, but we're back. In fact, look how we've changed in the last few weeks.
Yeah, right.
I know whenever we don't do a show for like a few weeks, it seems like years almost.
Oh, okay.
I mature that much more, like a fine wine. No, but a lot of good things have happened. Okay, explain our costumes.
Yes, we just did a filming project earlier today, and this is our costumes we were wearing. So
Oh, okay.
we were dressed up like hippies.
You're wearing a costume? I'm wearing a costume.
Well, this is actually a costume piece. Yeah.
This is my normal look.
I colored my hair pink a little bit.
You go okay. You don't usually have pink hair. My hair is usually not blonde.
Yeah.
I got this from Donald Trump's house. This is one of the wigs he rejected. And then of course this lame jacket, part of the Liberace collection. It also was used for a giant baked potato. It kept it cooking, And then so anyway, okay. Obviously, what we're dressed is the 1960s hippies, and we're in a scene where we play hippies.
Yeah.
And since neither one of us was born in the 1960s. We have to do it only what the director tells us to do. Also, I have these sunglasses. Not these. These are actually real glasses.
Yeah.
Which I bought because you need these glasses. But then you realize you can't really wear them in public. Well, today I get to wear them in public.
Right.
Remember there was an episode of Beauty and the Beast, the one with Linda Hamilton on it.
Yeah.
And he could never show his face anywhere.
Right.
But then on Halloween, he got to walk around with everybody else. It's the only one year.
Oh.
It's the only day of the year that beasts get to walk along freely amongst each other.
Yeah.
Speaking of beasts, we were in New York.
Yes, New York City.
That's the place.
Yes.
So tell me, what did you do there?
We hung out.
Hung out. I could do that here.
Yeah, we walked around.
That's all I do is hang out.
We walked around, went shopping. We went to see a really cool Broadway show, Aladdin.
Aladdin.
It was the scenes were magnificent.
It was. You probably seen the movie with Robin Williams, or you saw it with Will Smith.
Right.
But it was even greater than that.
Right.
Because it was live in front of you, and the dancing and the songs were the same. The story was the same.
Yeah.
Iago, if you remember, was a parrot played by Gilbert Gottfried, but in this show they just made him just a henchman that was following him around, being obnoxious, rather than a parrot being obnoxious.
Right.
So, but what was your take on New York when you were there compared to the last time you were there? Because I hadn't been there in more than 2 years.
Well, it was kind of the same to me, but it was a little bit different. Like, we wore our masks the whole time.
Wear our masks everywhere. In New York, they were a little bit. I think that's hopefully it's changing, but in New York it was they took it a little more seriously, and it's more. And they said, why is a place that takes the COVID so seriously have such a high COVID rate? And they said, well, there's so many people there. All you need is one person and 100 other people to be near, and then you infect everybody. Or infected a lot of people anyway. So let me tell you, I had to take my vaccination card everywhere with me.
Oh wow!
Every restaurant, every museum, every show. I saw a few Broadway shows, and by the end of that week in New York, my vaccination card looked like an old newspaper.
Oh yeah.
Looked like one of those old comic books that your mom's going to throw. Hey, wait a minute, that's the first Iron Man edition or something.
Yeah.
And so I was that was basically all I did in New York was go to I went to Broadway shows. I visited friends.
Yeah.
And it's to me. You said it had stayed the same. I don't think New York was the same.
Right.
New York. Half the theaters were closed. I mean, it'll come back. But I tell you what was very. This was we went in like the coldest part of the winter,
Right.
and let me tell you, it's been a cold winter, and in New
Yeah.
York it was very cold. And what happened was I got there early in the morning, like 6 a.m. And
Right.
and my hotel didn't open for another 6 or 7 hours. So so what do? You wait for for things to be open so you can go in, shop,
Right.
grocery stores, department stores, that type of thing, malls,
Right.
whatever they have in New York, museums, anything.
Yeah.
They have everything in New York.
Yeah.
So you go there, and what happened was, you're cold.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
6 a.m. in the
I
morning.
know. I know.
And okay, so you say McDonald's. Oh, there's a
Yeah.
McDonald's there or fast food places. I don't usually eat at these places, but I order a cup of coffee,
Yeah.
sit there, drink it, stay warm, and maybe I could make it last for an hour and a half,
Right.
and then
Right.
then I'll go to the next place and
Yeah.
stay warm. Well, what happened was you get there and then they say, COVID, because of COVID, everything is no only takeout. Let me tell you something about these places. I never understood the concept of takeout. I never get any takeout at all. And to me, if I'm going to spend money at a restaurant, even if it's friggin' McDonald's,
Right.
I'm going to sit there and enjoy the atmosphere,
Right.
the smell of
Exactly.
the grease,
Yeah.
the smell, the bo of all the people that eat there,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
the filthy bathroom that's never been cleaned. I want
Yeah.
that. I want to take in all of that.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I know.
Yeah.
That is if you want to eat there. But when you're cold,
Yeah. I mean,
you
you have no
compromise.
choice.
You go there and they say, "Oh,
Right.
well, do you a favor. You don't have to stay here. You can take your food and leave." I said, "That's a
Yeah.
favor."
Yeah. I'm supposed to go again in July.
New York, yeah.
Yes, and I'm going to Coney Island.
Coney Island, yeah.
Yeah,
We'll have
I
a good
can't wait
time
for
in
that. Yeah, I'm so
Brooklyn. Wait, in
excited.
July. Yeah, be sure to go to the hot dog eating contest.
Yeah, I'm not going to participate in
Joey Ch.
that,
No,
but
no, no.
I'm going to eat a hot dog, but I'm not going to do the hot dog contest.
The hot dog contest. I don't know if they make you pay for your hot dogs, but the winner usually gets 60 or 70 hot dogs in like 20 minutes. And he beats his record every year. It
Yeah.
used to be Kubayashi, and now it's Joey Chestnut.
Mm.
I think there's a new guy now. I forget his name, but they figured out that hot dog eating contest. It's weird how that works. The old contest used to be a guy who just ate a lot. He was just a big fat guy who liked to
Yeah,
eat.
yeah.
You never see women in these things, only men, because you have some idea of our pastimes. So what happened was, so he said, I think when he first entered, he goes, "Do I have to eat everything? Just do I could eat a lot of hot dogs," he says, but he says, "No, you have to eat the bread too." So
Oh,
they figured out that what you do is you take the bread
nothing more.
and you put it in
Water. Put
water
it in water.
and then stick the wad of dough in your mouth
Oh,
and
gosh.
then use the hot dog as a like a sword swallower and then it
Oh,
goes and then of course another one goes down, another one goes, and he's never really eating that those hot dogs. He's just pretty much like a sword swallower, just taking them in like that.
wow.
And then what happens is, I think maybe 20 minutes after it's over, they have to keep it down, and he probably
Oh,
probably barfs it up.
yeah.
Well, the other guys probably just
Right.
let it go through their
Yeah.
system.
Yeah.
But that's so until then they never the guys who win it, Kubayashi and Joey Chestnut, figured out a science to do it. And when you see them, they're very thin guys.
Oh, wow.
They're not big guys. They're not
Yeah.
even tall guys. They're
Yeah.
about like 5.5 feet tall or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
And that's how they win the contest.
Yeah.
And each year, I think the winner, the first record holder was like 50 hot dogs. Now it's up to 70.
Oh,
So
wow.
you have to
Yeah.
up your game every time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
no, I don't think I don't. In fact, I have to tell you, I can't even watch more than 30 seconds of that contest because it's disgusting seeing people just fill their gullet full of food.
Right. Right.
But anyway, you go to New York and you go to the fast food place and you think you're going to be inside and you're not inside. You have to get takeout and then in New York there's nowhere really to sit down. Everything was cold. There's nowhere to use the bathroom. It's hard enough even during good times, much less during the pandemic. So I didn't have as great a time in New York as I usually do, only because of that. And in other words, I don't think I missed anything in the last 2 years not being in New York. But now, it's like we all took a break from each other, and now we're getting back to being nice to each other again, which I'm looking forward to. So, so I saw another show. I saw a show called Company by Stephen Sondheim, and I usually when I go see a Broadway show try to see a big star, and the star that was in this one was Patti LuPone, who was the original Evita. She used to be on the show Life Goes On. Yeah, and Life Goes On, a Beatles song. And so I got that was the only star I saw in New York was her. I didn't go see the Music Man. I couldn't afford the Music Man.
That would have been good to see too.
2 years ago, I actually had in my hand tickets to see the Music Man, but the pandemic put an end to that.
Okay.
Now it's back again. It's only recently back a few weeks ago. And Hugh Jackman plays the Music Man. A lot of people tell me, including my father and including our friend Stacy, that's their favorite musical, the Music Man. You know all the songs in the Music Man?
Wells Fargo.
The Wells Fargo, yeah, that Ronnie Howard sings. The Shaboopy. Buddy Hackett sings it in the movie. I think Stubby K sang it in the show. And then of course Robert Preston was in the original show, and then he was also in the movie. Hey, let me tell you something about the movie The Music Man. When it came time to make a movie of it, like in 1962, they shopped it around to all the big movie stars. And Cary Grant was almost retired at this point, and they offered him the part that Robert Preston played in the Harry Hill, I think, in The Music Man. And he said, and this is what Cary Grant said. He says, "Not only am I turning you down and will not appear in The Music Man, I won't even go buy a ticket to see the movie version of The Music Man unless Robert Preston is in it."
I know.
And that pretty much told them to put Robert Preston in it. So Robert Preston is in it. Now, move back. The Music Man always comes back. I think Dick Van Dyke has done it. And
speaking of that, what's his name? That
Robert Preston.
Yeah, what he just said. I kind of feel the same way as him because if I audition for a show. And if I can't make it, if I don't make a show, I'm like, I'm not going to waste my money to buy a ticket to just watch it.
Yeah, well, see.
Because I'm the kind of person that likes to be in a show than just watch a show.
Yes. And there's a lot of movies that I did not get into that I didn't. Well, I eventually did see them, but I didn't see them. I didn't see them in the theater. I only saw them on tape on television. I say, yeah, I can see how lousy it was without me.
He wants to be a member of the audience.
And yet, when a movie I'm in that's not so good, but if I'm in it, I say, well, okay, it wasn't that bad.
I mean,
my mom would like it, but all my relatives would buy a ticket. Maybe not my relatives, but anyway. So about Robert Preston. Okay, now you move forward 60 years later, and there's a new version of The Music Man on Broadway, the most heralded one since the first one, with Robert Preston. This one has Hugh Jackman. Now, the closest thing we have to Hugh Jackman today, or in those days, was Cary Grant. Or he's the closest one to Cary Grant we have today is Hugh Jackman. He could do it all, and so did Cary Grant. So, if you watch The Music Man on stage with Hugh Jackman and pay $800 for a front row ticket, you will realize, well, this is what Cary Grant probably would have been like as the Music Man.
Yeah.
I don't know if he would have been miscast. I think Cary Grant was only considered because he was Cary Grant.
Right.
Sometimes you wonder about certain actors, what they're doing on Broadway and stuff. A lot of times they have big names, and they get parts. Hugh Jackman's very talented, though. Hugh Jackman could sing and dance, hosted the Academy Awards, you know. And but I remember there was a movie with Kevin Kline called The Last Days of Robin Hood. And he plays Errol Flynn. And he plays Errol Flynn the last year of his life. He's only 50 years old, but he looks like he's 70. And he's getting so old because of all the drugs and taking poor care of himself. There's a scene where he says, well, my movie career is not doing too well, so I'm on Broadway. Evidently, they're selling lots of tickets for me on Broadway. Who wants to see me on Broadway? And so you start to wonder, this guy was always drunk, Errol Flynn. He said, what type of actor is he? You know, is he a good actor when the chips are down or something? So you see the scene with Kevin Kline, and he's acting up a storm on stage as Errol Flynn. And then as the camera moves back, you see all these stagehands with cue cards. So everywhere he turned, he knew his next line. Didn't even bother to remember the lines. You know, if I could do that, I would do that. You know that cue cards. Lucy always used them. Bob Hope certainly used them. Dean Martin always used them. The only actor on television in the golden days that didn't use them, I don't think Sid Caesar used them. I don't think that show, the Sid Caesar show, did it. But the Jackie Gleason was very much against cue cards. So when you watch The Honeymooners, there's no cue cards. And in fact, they said he didn't even like to rehearse, and he could read a script and he could remember all the lines. But then when they did the show, he did very little rehearsal, but he would mess up his lines a lot. But he was smart enough to improvise to get back on track. And if you ever watch The Honeymooners and you see Jackie Gleason going like this to Norton or to Alice, what he's basically telling them is, I forgot my line, kind of cue me and get me back on track.
Exactly.
I think there's one episode, I'm not sure which one. I always hear that there's an episode of The Honeymooners where it was all improvised because Gleason didn't like the script that week. So he thought of a situation and then they just improvised from there. Now, tell me about the plays you're in. You're in a few plays yourself, aren't you?
Yes, I've been really busy with those. That's why we haven't seen y'all in a while. But, you know, we're back now. So, anyway, the shows I'm working on now are Peter Pan and Wendy, The Dragon Slayers, The Other Side of Oz, which is a different version from The Wizard of Oz, of course. And I'm working on Stinky Story.
That Stinky Story?
It's like a kids program.
Yeah, okay.
But, you know,
we're going to talk about each one. And there's a fifth one?
The fifth one is
I know this. It's called Let It Be.
Let It Be, yes, Let It Be.
But we're going to talk about all of them except Let It Be, and we'll talk about that at the end. So tell me, break down each one of them. Which one do you want to start with first?
Let's start with The Stinky Story.
Okay, now tell me about The Stinky Story.
The Stinky Story is...
I love the title already.
It's pretty funny. It's like comedy, children's comedy. It's about this princess. At first she smells like roses. And then she goes to like this, like, she tries to go to this place that, you know, it smells like like it stinks, and she gets.
What's the place? Like a cheese factory or something?
No, it's like a little, you know, where the goblins are and all that.
Oh, where animals live. Yeah. That always like a barn.
Yeah. And she goes through and then she meets like these goblins and all that, and you know, and she has the king and queen as her mom and father, of course. And, you know, and at first she smells like roses, and then she gets around, you know, some people, and you know, she smells and she wants to smell good again or whatever. So.
And that's the plot. Is there singing in it? Singing and dancing?
No, it's just speaking lines.
Just speaking lines. Is it a comedy?
Yeah.
Obviously.
It's a really cute show.
Yeah. Okay. And
what I read in the script,
so it takes place during medieval times.
Yeah.
And they all get bit by by rats and the Black Plague. And they said, "You think smelling bad is bad? Wait do you have the Black Plague?"
Yeah, I know.
You're gonna wish you smelled bad.
I know there was a Thunderpod. And I'm playing the role of Frog.
Yeah, okay.
It's Frelg.
Okay.
Frog. It sounds like frog, but it's Frog.
And you play the queen?
No, I'm playing it's actually a gatekeeper.
Who goes there?
Yeah, so his name is Frog.
Hark!
And,
Hark!
I'm going to be playing the role of that.
Yeah.
And,
You get to hit someone with a lance or something?
I get to kind of like scold somebody. Like, hey, you, come here. That you, princess. Bend a paw. Yeah.
Hey, you. Hey, you, princess.
Yeah.
Oh, you think you're a princess?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what's the other? Tell me the next show.
We're working on Peter Pan and Wendy.
Okay.
It's a different version of Peter Pan,
Mm-hmm.
and I think one of our directors wrote it or something.
Oh, it's an original premiere.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, how is it different from Peter Pan? Did they get married at the end or something?
I think Wendy goes off with Peter Pan or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, the whole point of Peter Pan is he doesn't go off with anybody. That's what I like about him.
Yeah, the children are.
I hate this show already.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I'm in the show.
Yeah, I'm playing in 2 parts. I'm playing Liza the maid.
Yeah.
And I'm playing a pirate named Morgan Stardust.
Liza till all the crowds roll by. Liza Minnelli was named after that song. No, Liza. So you play Liza and a pirate.
Yes.
A female pirate.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. You don't see female pirates. You don't see good-looking pirates.
Mm-hmm.
I was told somebody the other day I used to like the Pittsburgh Pirates until I found out they were a baseball team and not real pirates. Then someone from Pittsburgh told me, actually, it's Peter Pan. She told me that the reason why they call the pirates is because of all the rivers in Pittsburgh. So there's a lot of. I guess at one time there were a lot of pirates in Pittsburgh.
Right.
You could always hightail it on on those 3 rivers.
Yeah.
Now and all those bridges.
Yeah.
Now also, I'm in the play, and I play Mr. Darling.
Yes.
I play not Peter. I play Wendy's father. Yeah.
Yes.
So and usually
and Michael and John are still in the play. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's the same story. It doesn't really change. That the characters are still the same. But what's kind of neat is that in most shows, Mr. Darling becomes Captain Hook in the rest of the show. I mean, he usually plays 2 parts because they don't really, and in other words, the weird father at the beginning becomes the evil villain in the course of the show. Right. But if I were a Captain Hook, I get to wear that Louis XIV wig. Right. And so, okay, and so that's what Peter Pan and Wendy. Okay, now tell me about Dragon Slayer.
Yeah, Dragon Slayer is going to be great, and that's coming up in May.
Okay, now, wow, you're like the Meryl Streep of the of Central Virginia.
I'm playing about 4 or 5 roles in that show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh wow.
I played a goblin.
Yeah.
A maid. A court.
Yeah.
The spirits.
Yeah.
And a goblin named Egg Button.
Egg Button.
Yeah. So.
Well, someone's got to have that name.
Yeah.
Egg Button. So that's great. That's great.
Yeah. So pretty much.
And what's Dragon Slayer? I guess it's about Saint George and the dragon.
It's about like this witch named Griselda, and she builds She tries to build a dragon.
Oh, okay.
And
a flesh and blood type of dragon, or like a mechanical one made out of
like a
iron?
Flesh and blood.
Okay, like conjure up something. Okay.
Yeah. So.
There are no dragons.
Yeah.
You always hear about dragons in literature and in poetry.
Yeah.
And folklore. No dragon.
Yeah.
I don't know where they came up, because they have them in China.
Yeah.
And they have them in England.
Yeah.
I mean, the story of them. The Loch Ness Monster is supposed to be sort of a dragon.
It's going to be a great show.
And there's no Loch Ness Monster either.
Yeah. However, some of us are supposed to be fighting the dragon at the end.
All right.
So.
And then okay, what was the and then there's the Oz.
The other side of Oz.
The Other Side of Oz. Now tell me about that show.
Yeah, it's a different kind of version than you're used to, the Wizard of Oz, but but the storyline is like different, like a modern kind of type of
modern sensibility.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did something. They once did a like a mini series once with Zoe Deschanel for the Sci-Fi Channel called Tin Man or Tin Man, like it was the guy's name, and it was very serious. Had no singing and dancing in it, and I think Richard Dreyfuss played the Wizard of Oz, but he was more like a put upon Willy Loman type or something. It was kind of weird.
Yeah.
I watched it only because I liked the Wizard of Oz so much.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so tell me, what do you do in that?
I play a munchkin.
Play a munchkin, okay?
Yeah, and it's a really fun role to play. So
Yeah.
I've always wanted to play a munchkin.
A munchkin,
yeah. I played the other version of the Wizard of Oz before.
Yeah.
But I played the Witch's Guard in a tree back then.
Yeah, a tree.
Yeah.
The one that throws the apples.
Yeah. So,
I've been in many versions of the Wizard of Oz.
I've been in the Wizard of Oz twice. The versions that I'm in now, and then the last version.
I think there's like the fifth or sixth time I've been in the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
And I'm in this show, and I play the Wizard of Oz again.
Yeah.
I'm being typecast.
Oh yeah.
And let me tell you about the Wizard of Oz. The Wizard of Oz is a great park. If you're in the children's theater, you're going to eventually play the Wizard of Oz or the Mad Hatter.
Yeah.
Or both.
Yeah.
They're not a whole lot. They're kind of similar parts. Yeah. But let me tell you about the Wizard of Oz. The Wizard of Oz is a great part. I'll tell you why it's a great part. Why? His name is in the title, The Wizard of Oz. Okay? And then during the course of the show, you have like a singing lion, a singing and dancing Tin Man, a singing and dancing Scarecrow, and all these munchkins, and all these, and a little girl from Kansas, and you have all these things, and then they're all and witches, and they all lead up to meeting the Wizard of Oz. And then I show up as the Wizard of Oz and do absolutely nothing. No powers, no abilities, no nothing. Yeah. And even better is they talk about you the whole show, like they're expecting something big, and then I show up and then nothing happens. No powers. I give the Tin Man a medallion in the shape of a heart, Valentine. I give the Scarecrow a diploma, and I give the lion a medal, and that's about it. I try to get Dorothy home. But I wound up getting my own cell phone. But anyway, so I'm in the Wizard of Oz, and or what's it called? Oz the other side of Oz. The other side of Oz. So that's pretty good. It's not a real show in a typical sense as begin, middle, and end. They're in a sort of order. The show, but all of these, they're like little vignettes and little chapters and little episodes, all done a little bit, and they all stand on their own, but instead of having to, come back next week to see the second part, it's all in in 2 hours you see it all. So and there's no beginning and no end. So when it's over, it's like a Coen Brothers movie. It just stops. Right. In fact, the Coen Brothers should direct this. Yeah. But anyway, so I play the Wizard of Oz, and I think I almost played a Munchkin. Yeah. But I kind of play a Munchkin. I play a Munchkin insurance salesman or something. And that's pretty funny. Insurance adjuster. And because my background, I have some background in insurance, I knew all the terms, and I was able to rattle them off. And you're in
the same scene as us anyway.
Yes. So. Yeah, they tend to put us together like Alfred Lunt and the Lunts. Anyway, or Hugh Cronin and Jessica Tandy, they seem to put us in everything. And then this is the one I was waiting to talk about now. Let It Be.
Yes. One of my favorites.
This is going to be the biggest. Everything up to now is worthy of seeing, but this is going to be singing and dancing and everything. So tell us about Let It Be.
Yes, I will be.
I'm in it too. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, I will be playing the Bohemian Bubble Girl.
There you go.
And I'm going to be singing pretty much a lot of solos, I heard.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you. You probably remember the movie or the Broadway show Mamma Mia with all the ABBA songs.
Yeah.
Well, this show is like a typical type of. I don't know what the plot is. I don't even know if the plot matters because they just string along a lot of Beatles songs into the plot, and we all sing and dance to them. We have a chorus, we have a chorus line, and we,
Yeah.
So I think this is great because everybody loves the Beatles.
I love the Beatles.
And everybody knows their songs.
Yes.
And I said this about a movie I saw a few years ago with Tom Hiddleston playing Hank Williams. And I was so it was about the life story of Hank Williams, and they had all the songs Hank Williams sang in the soundtrack. I said they should have put subtitles on the screen when I was watching it, so you could sing along to all these Hank Williams songs. Well, the same with this. Everyone in the audience is going to be singing along to all these Beatles songs, and you know them, and they're all in there. So I get to sing a few. So what songs do you get to sing?
I could sing Strawberry Fields.
Oh, that's a good one.
Revolution.
Yeah.
And I think there's other ones, but I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah.
But I should be hearing something.
No, I mean I think if you're in the chorus, you're going to sing all of them.
Yeah.
You're there to sing all of them. But as far as a solo goes, as a character, the Bubble Girl sings. What does she sing?
Strawberry
Fields Forever. That's your solo. Okay. Well, that's a good one. That's a good one. That's the weird song. Nobody understands.
Yeah.
But it's a good song.
And you should hear it backwards too.
Yeah, they play it backwards and all these whoop whoop whoop. Yeah. So anyway, I get to sing. I play the villain in it, and I get to sing I think I'm in that big number two, Revolution, and I'm also sing Helter Skelter. Yeah. And I also sing Come Together. Yeah. Now, what's kind of weird is of those, and I was told that those are the songs you're going to sing, so that your part sings in the show. So I said, and I know the songs, but I didn't realize that two of those songs I don't really know the words to. The only song I really know the words to was "Come Together," and that one everyone's excited about because everyone likes the song.
Cruising slowly, he got choo-choo eyeball, he won slowly, tighty, head down to his knee. Hey, you good looking, you just gotta do what you please.
I don't remember that part. Come together right now over me. Well, let me tell you that, and that's what I get to sing. I think I get quite a few solos. I think it's with a few people, and I think all these songs you're singing to people and it's part of the dialogue. And what was weird about that song, I do know. Now there's a song called Revolution. They say you got a revolution.
Yeah, well,
you don't want to change the world. But the craziest thing is that after that line, I don't know any of the words. Yeah. I know how the rest of it goes. I know something about Chairman Mao later. Gonna be right. So I'm gonna learn all. Yeah, by the time the show happens, I'm gonna tell all my little friends to come to it. Me too. Because they're all Beatles fans, and they're all gonna be singing along.
Oh yeah.
So that's what. So you and I are going to be in a lot of shows the next few years. No, like 2 or 3 months. Yeah. Gosh. We're going to have to do what Orson Welles used to do when he was in a couple of shows on Broadway. He took an ambulance to each show. He didn't know that. I mean, in those days, there was no rules about hiring an ambulance just to take you somewhere, put the siren on, and taking you across town to a show. But anyway, thanks for enlightening us on your trip to New York and the plays you're going to be in. And we have more of the show. Yes. And we'll talk about where we are in just a few minutes. Say goodbye.
All right. May God bless you all. We will be back shortly. God bless.